What was the amount? I don't forget what it was 50. But they did 50. Okay. All right. Perfect. Sounds good.
So that was a conversation I had last week while applying for a business line of credit. But to be honest, my conversations did not always sound like that. Through a lot of mistakes and a lot of trial and error at a lot of different banks, I actually learned that there's a system to getting approved for business credit. And in this video, I'm going to show you what I think is the simplest way to get approved for your first or next 50K in business credit. And I'll share how I did it with no bank statements, no tax returns, and no hard inquiry. So first things first, business credit is a company's ability to buy something now and pay for it later. And it's what allows anyone like you and I to obtain capital on behalf of our business. To me, the biggest benefit here is that we can do this while keeping everything completely separate from our personal credit report. And just like personal credit, these funds can come in the form of a business credit card, a loan, and my favorite, a business line of credit. All right, y'all. Now there are two ways to build and obtain business credit. Now the first one is called the tier method. Now this is going to involve going to net 30 vendors like Quill, Uline, and Granger to actually have them report positive activity on your business credit report. Now, after they report the activity, then you go up to the next tier of vendors. Now, depending on what your goals are, this process can take as little as 2 to 3 months or all the way up to 2 years before your business credit profile is fully built out. I'll actually link to a list of 50 plus vendors that can help you with this in the description below. But look, here's how to get funding now, like literally today. Now, the second method is a fast track where you leverage banking relationships at local banks and credit unions, and you pair that with a decent credit score to PG or personally guarantee whatever business credit you're applying for. Now, with the PG, the lender is going to check your personal credit report, but they're not going to report any of that business activity to it, meaning you can literally borrow like 100K on the business side and your personal credit report is still going to be squeaky clean. And that's the method we're going to focus on today. Now, the first step to getting approved is to make your business credible. And you do this by having a properly structured LLC or corporate entity. Now, if you're starting a brand new business, your first step is going to be to incorporate. And you can usually do this by going directly to your Secretary of State website. After that, you're going to want to get an EIN directly from the IRS and a DUNS number directly from DMV. And both of these are completely free. All right, pay attention to this next part because this is the key to your business making a powerful first impression at the bank. All the data points that you provide play a major part in how risky your business is in the bank's eyes. Now, the first data point is going to be your business name. Now, I like to keep these things very, very general, right? Like ABC Group or ABC Organization. That way, there's no way that my business can be accidentally put in some sort of high risk industry, right? High risk industries are going to include things like trucking, credit repair, guns, things like that. You want to stay far away from having anything like that anywhere close to your business name. Next up is going to be a corporate address. Now, this is another non-negotiable because when the banks look you up, they need to see a nice corporate building, not your home address, right? If you don't have a corporate building, you can leverage something called a virtual office. Now, this building behind me is my company's virtual office. So even though I work from home, when the banks look me up, this is where they see that I do business at. The company I use for my virtual office is called Regis, and they have locations all over the US. Now, heads up, since this is your company's registered address, you are going to get some business mail there every so often. So you can pay for mail forwarding directly to your house, or you can just be cheap like me and just go check it every couple of weeks. Next up, you're going to want to get a professional phone number, domain, and email address, right? You want to get away from using abcgroup@gmail.com and start using info@abcgroup.com. You want to own that domain for your business. For the phone number, you want to have a 1-800 or 188 number listed, which you can get for a couple bucks each month. For my domain and email, I use G Suite, and I use a company called Grasshopper for my business phone number, but I'll link to a couple more providers in the description below for you as well. All right, now that you're properly structured, it's time to find a bank. Now, I've talked to a lot of these guys over the years, and I gotta say, this one sticks out as one of the most small business friendly banks out there. When I initially spoke with a bank rep over the phone, they let me know that they offered business credit up to $50,000 with no doc underwriting for credit scores as low as a 650, and they won't even leave an inquiry on your credit report. Yep, let me explain. Now, the bank I'm talking about is called Key Bank, which brings us to step 2, where we put the relationship in relationship banking. Now, the best way to start that banking relationship is pretty simple. You can do it by opening a business checking account. Now, this is where you're going to provide all that information that you just established, right? Your business address, your phone number, your email. This is where you're going to provide all that information for them to put it on file. Now, I usually like to fund my checking accounts with at least $1,000 to start, because the more money you put on deposit, the stronger that relationship is. But if you don't have $1,000, at least fund this account with like $100 to start. Now, with the banking relationship established, comes time to apply. And what I love about Key is that they have multiple business credit products available, so you can apply for them all at the same time and stack up your approvals. They have some cards that offer points and some cards that offer cash back, but both of them offer a 0% intro APR offer and no minimum time in business, meaning you can get approved for these with a brand new company. Now, they also offer small business lines of credit, which is my favorite product, because even though they don't have a 0% intro APR offer, they're as good as cash. Like, I can literally take $10K off my line of credit, move it into my checking account right from the app, and it is good to go in my account, ready to use. Now, KeyBank and most other lenders usually require a business to be 1 to 2 years old before they can qualify for a line of credit. So make sure you're asking that question before you actually apply. Now, since my business was just over that 2-year threshold, I went ahead and applied for a $45,000 business line of credit, because remember, anything under 50 is no documentation. So I did this application on Thursday, and by Tuesday, they called me back with a decision.
But just wanted to check in and see what the results were for that one. Okay, it was approved?
Yes. I just got an email. It's in the booking stage today.
Okay. What was the amount? I forget what it was 50.
45, but they just stamped it for 50.
But they did 50. Okay. All right. Perfect. Sounds good, buddy. I appreciate you. Yep.
No problem.
All right. Have a good one, buddy. All right. Bye. There it is.
Now, at first I was a little confused because I didn't get any credit monitoring alerts at all for any inquiries, but my banker told me, rest assured, all they needed for approval was a soft inquiry on Equifax Credit Bureau, y'all. So you can literally walk out of this bank with an additional $50K in business funding without a single ding to your credit report. Now, another key to their underwriting is that their approvals usually come in at about 10% of your gross revenue on your application, which explains why even though I applied for 45K, I ended up getting approved for 50K when I went through underwriting. Real quick, y'all, drop a comment below if you plan on hitting up this bank for business funding in the future too. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more gems just like this one. Now, once the funds are secure, it's time to get to work. I'm using mine to grow my real estate portfolio and scale my Toro business, which I'll help you with in this video right here.